Hello and welcome to Quays News. I'm Poppy Smart.
And I'm Kate Snoddy. Here's what's coming up in the programme.
Community-led nature projects across Greater Manchester have been awarded over £400,000 to spend on 18 of their projects.
Girls' Night was held at Greystone Action Sports Skate Park to celebrate their 5th birthday.
We'll find out how we can all save more money on Christmas this year.
And we'll be catching up with our reporter Harry to see how his budget Christmas dinner has turned out.
How savvy can you be this Christmas? Join us later in the programme when we find out how much I spent on this Christmas dinner for a family of 4.
It's good news for Rainbow Surprise and Crumpsall, who are one of many community groups to be awarded the Green Spaces Fund.
These projects will provide better access to green spaces across Manchester and have been backed by Andy Burnham, Mayor of Greater Manchester.
Adam Clark reports from Crumpsall Community Hall.
This wall here, what you're seeing along here, this is the idea is that this is where the exercise machines are going to sit in front of here.
Shaka Hussain has big hopes for this area of land at Crumpsall Community Hall. Rainbow Surprise, one of the community groups that have been awarded funding through the Green Spaces Fund.
So there's a massive space at the back of this building which is just been derelict and it's overgrown. We've had it all cleared out just to kind of get an idea what we can do in there. It will be for anybody in the community who would like to just come, either just sit down and relax once it's all done up, or get their hands dirty.
Around 300 people use the services of the group every week across its food parcels, community fridge and warm hubs.
Moving along here, I will show you, we actually have just beyond those windows, that's where downstairs in the basement where our kitchen is. And then we have these 2 double doors that open outwards and some steps coming up. So we're hoping to open these doors and people can, we can bring stuff out through these doors, or people can come in through the centre from these doors here and just have a seating area here.
Over £400,000 has been given out across 18 groups in the city region. With this latest round of funding, 86 projects have been backed by the fund. Other projects include a community tie-dye garden in Trafford, growing trees in Bolton and creating a public park from a tip site in Rochdale. It's expected these projects will create much excitement in the communities they work in.
Already a lot of interest from the community, people who are service users really, who come and use our services, and they've heard about it and they're saying like, well, we're into gardening, we'll love to help you with this, we'll love to help you with this. And I'm sure, yeah, they will kind of take charge of it, and which will be really good.
For now, the plans are in the minds of Shaka and his team, but very soon they'll be seeing some artist impressions to see what the future holds. Adam Clark, Quays News, Manchester.
Greystone Action Sports in Salford is turning 5 years old, and to celebrate it's holding Girls Only Night.
Reporter Ellie Haynes went down to the skate park to find out more.
Skater boy, more like skater girl. Greystone is giving girls a safe place to do action sports.
It's like a good escape, like when you get out of your own head for a bit. So like if you're skating, you're not thinking about anything except for skating. You're just thinking about like the next trick you're gonna do, how you're not gonna like hurt yourself.
Action sports are male dominated, and for some girls this can be discouraging. But Laura Hemming and her team are stoked to hold girls only nights, and they've been a hit.
I'd say if you were a woman or girl and to come to Greystone on a normal day or an evening or the weekend, it can be quite intimidating. I find being around girls and women, they're all very helpful and supportive, and kind of they're each other's ambassadors, if you like they all want each other to succeed. Whereas in other environments I've been in, it hasn't necessarily been the core focus of the session.
I think sometimes like the boys can be a bit more like judgmental of the girls, and it's quite a different atmosphere. It can be like a bit more intense, which can like be quite fun sometimes, but like sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. So it's quite nice to do it with like just girls who are all kind of in the same position in the same boat.
Greystone Action Sports was inspired by camps in America. The founders felt there was nothing really like it in the UK, and especially not in the Northwest, to fulfil their love for the sports. And now they're celebrating their 5th year anniversary with the strong community of action sport lovers they've found.
The people that have been kind of with us from the start of that, you've kind of seen their development. So I guess from a community point of view, for the girls that I can speak for, it provides like a safe space for them, an environment where they know they are not going to be judged, and it's fun, which is the number one thing, is being safe and being fun. And as soon as you kind of box those two off, you kind of see a child or an adult really kind of blossom, and it's like a youth club. It's really nice to see. They all turn up, they all give each other hugs, they all chat about the day, we play games, we ask each other what we've been up to. It's always just really fun and nice.
And with all this talk of skateboarding, I decided to give it a try myself, and it was a lot harder than I thought. Eleanor Haynes, Quays News, Salford.
Now, an event much closer to home, Light Waves is back at Salford Quays as bright as ever.
This year's display will feature 15 artworks and will include a 6-metre-long whale shark diving out of the quays.
Our reporter Courtney Holder is coming live to us to tell us more about this year's event.
That's right, Lightwave Salford is back again for its 10th year. Including a trail of 15 light art installations taking you around Salford Quays and Media City. This year they have commissioned their piece, The Decade of Light, which is a celebration of the diversity of the artists and communities that have made this one of the highlights of the winter months here in Salford. They also have other pieces including Pulse, their biggest installation, which is 45 metres and is a collection of light and sound, and Nectary, a collection of 6 flower heads that you can put your head in and really immerse yourself in nature. Now, I'm here in the Human Aquarium Deep Water exhibit with Zoe Parker and Lucy Meredith, who are owners of the art organisation Yorkshire Life Aquatic. If you can just tell me a little bit about your exhibit today and what led you to creating it.
Well, this is kind of the 3rd iteration of Deep Water. This is, we did it in 2019 first, and it was a look at the oceans and the effect that single-use plastics has on sea creatures in the oceans and things. And this one is more about the oceans itself, about the effect of climate change, how the oceans are rising, the ice caps are melting, the seas are getting warmer, and it's really affecting all life on Earth.
Amazing. And how important is it for you to be able to showcase an exhibit like this at Light Waves?
It's brilliant to do it here. It's such a brilliant venue, and it's in its 10th year, which is like, it's a great time, and I just love the Salford Quays. And it's, you know, in terms of the message that we're trying to get across, we're so near the waterways here, and they've had flooding here before, so it's a really good opportunity to show the imminent danger that we're all in, that we could all do something to avoid.
Amazing. Thank you so much. The event is free this weekend until Sunday, 4 until 10 p.m.
Thanks, Courtney.
Poppy, have you heard about the Golden Ticket campaign Loaf MCR are running over this Christmas?
No, Kate, I haven't, but I did hear that you went down there earlier to find out more.
I'm here outside of Loaf MCR on Oxford Road, one of their 2 locations here in Manchester, as they're holding a week-long Golden Ticket campaign. The event ends on Sunday, so make sure you get down to take a look. Let's have a look inside and speak to shop owner Aidan, who will tell us about the campaign.
So at the moment we've got the Willy Wonka inspired campaign, which is inspired by Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, 5 golden tickets, 5 chances to win, and the idea is just to kind of get people feeling festive, get them into the shops, drive a little bit of traffic, and just have a lot of fun, really. So if you win a golden ticket, you have 5 chances to win some great prizes. So I've partnered with some businesses in Manchester. We've got Whitworth Lock, which is part of the Lock Hotels business franchise. They gave us 2 nights and drinks on arrival. Then there's 2 tickets to go and see Jason Manford live at his tour next year, as well as meet and greet him, for a meal for 4 at Bundobust, and that's also included in the drinks. Lots of drinks going on with these, by the way. There is £200 worth of cake. We call it the party cake bundle. And we also have 2 gig tickets to go and see any gig that you want in the Victoria Warehouse next year. One of the people that have won, they didn't expect to, just walked in, bought a cake, and then they actually won the prize. And they said it made their day, and they're the kind of person that never wins. So that made their day, and I feel like potentially made their Christmas. So for me, big win. The last person that won is a regular customer who comes in all the time. And what's really nice about that is when they won, they're almost being rewarded for their loyalty too, right? So I've had 2 very different wins already. We've got 3 left, so we'll see what the next responses are like.
Kate Snoddy, Quays News.
New research from PayPal states that nearly 3/4 of us will set a Christmas budget this year. Despite that, the average household will spend £740 more in December than an average month.
So can you have a budgeted Christmas and still enjoy some of the festive fun? Our reporter, Leonie Husselby, went out to find out.
The holiday season is here, Christmas. The John Lewis advert's out and Christmas trees are going up in houses all across the UK. But is Christmas going to be different this year? With people still recovering from the effects of lockdown and the cost of living crisis, will people have to budget their Christmas this year just to make ends meet? Patricia Bright is a finance guru and entrepreneur. As adults across the UK are finding ways to make their money go further when shopping for Christmas, Patricia knows all about the top ways adults are cutting their festive spending.
So the first things first is to set a budget and try and stick to it. Another thing that a lot of people are doing is actually regifting. And this is something that I personally do now. I'm very lucky that I've got, I receive a few gifts here and there. I've got clothing in my wardrobe that's unworn with labels on it. I've got perfumes and, lipsticks that aren't my color, that are unopened. Also, 4 in 10 people are redeeming loyalty points. So getting savvy, partnering, connecting with a retailer. So, when you're spending, get those points back and then use them towards your gifts for the season ahead as well.
So what will the people of Salford be doing this year to budget their Christmas?
I've been saving up for vouchers, like park vouchers and stuff, using them. And obviously I've been doing online shopping. So it's not been as bad this year.
Me and my boyfriend did park vouchers, and we'd send the money every month, and they basically send us out a card each in October, so then we can spend that money in shops and we budgeted for nieces and nephews and everyone, because we knew it's probably not going to be possible to just save and have him at the same time. But yeah,
make it cheaper, give out less present. Yeah, and don't spend too much on decoration.
So with Christmas just around the corner this year, the people of Salford are having to think very carefully about how many presents they're going to put under their tree this Christmas. Leonie Husselby, Quays News.
Speaking of budgeting, how much would we usually spend on Christmas dinner?
Our reporter Harry took on the challenge to see how cheap he could make his festive feast.
The cost of living crisis continues to affect shoppers up and down the country, with inflation currently sat at 9.3%. And with Christmas but a few short weeks away, people are feeling the need to tighten their belts. Consumer Intelligence have conducted a survey in which they found that 63% of the population will be having a slimmed down Christmas, with 30% less being spent on food and 25% less on booze than last Christmas. I spoke to Tony Syme, a lecturer in economics at the University of Salford.
There's obviously when it comes to budgets, frozen vegetables rather than fresh vegetables, they are a lot more economical. Okay, they're a lot cheaper. You also get a lot more in a pack of frozen fruit, frozen veg than you would do in terms of fresh. So if a budget is an issue, and it's for most families, then that's the first thing that I would look at.
These rises in mind, there is no doubt that the nation is concerned about how to feed their families this Christmas. Kantar World Panel, a company that tracks sales and prices at supermarket chains, said its annual measure for the cost of the typical main meal stood at £31.71 for a family of 4. I thought that was a little steep, so I challenged myself to making one for less than £25. Let's see how I get on. So I've got us the essentials. but we'll have enough to treat us to a bottle of red. This is only £4.09p. So, we'll find out at the till. So we've been in Aldi and altogether we've come to £16.34, which does give us some wiggle room if we feel like buying a pudding, but let's see what we can do with what we've just bought. So it's the next day and the cost of living crisis continues to affect shoppers up and down the country, with inflation currently sat at 9.3%, and with Christmas but a few short weeks away, people are feeling the need to tighten their belts. Consumer intelligence.
And we've got Harry's Christmas dinner in front of us now. It looks absolutely delicious. I think me and Kate need to go off and eat this before it gets cold.
Exactly, I can't wait. But that's all we have time for today.
Thank you very much for watching.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Obviously, when it comes to budgets,